welcome to Frankly Speaking, and today my special guest is Sonu Sood. What should I call you, Sonu Sood? Actor? Should I call you a good Samaritan? Should I call you somebody who's these days seen as a Mahatma in some political circles, and somebody who's been working with migrants and actually wiping the tears off their faces? What is this avatar of Sonu Sood that the country is today seeing?
First of all, thank you so much for having me on a show. You can just call me a common man who came to this city years back with lots of dreams and went through the same struggle of reaching my destination. And today when I see all these migrants struggling to go back to their homes, so I could relate to them. So just trying to make things easy for them. And I'm glad that I could bring a few smiles on their faces. And just trying to do the same.
And how did this whole process really start? Did you just one fine day decide when you woke up in the morning कि आज से मैं सड़क पे उतरूंगा और migrants की मदद करूंगा? How did this whole process start? Where did you begin? You would have needed help as well on the ground if you wanted to get so many migrants together and put them on various modes of transport and send them to the states they came from.
It started with I have a hotel in Juhu when the whole this pandemic started. So I gave my hotel to all the doctors, nurses, and all those paramedical staff. Then we started a food distribution drive where we were giving food to almost 45,000 people. There's a very close friend of mine. Her name is Neeti Goyal, and we are childhood friends. And we were distributing food at a highway where we saw a bunch of migrants walking, on the highway with little kids. So we stopped them. We said, "Where are you heading to?" They said, "We're going to Karnataka, and just can you pack a lot of fruits for us because it's a 8-10 day travel, so we would need that." So I requested them, "Can you stay for a day or two, and I'll try to organize few permissions and a mode of transport for you, and then you can go." And I realized they didn't have any hope. They said, "Ki nahi sir, hoga nahi, and hame jaane dijiye, aap hame thode fruits de dijiye." So then I realized this is not just a story of these few migrants who are just planning to go back to their homes, walking on these highways, risking their lives. So it's a story of millions across the country. So somehow I was able to convince them. In 2 days, I got all the permissions from Karnataka and from the state government, arranged few buses, and that's the first time 350 people went back to their homes. And when I went to see them off, they had smiles on their faces, tears in their eyes, little kids celebrating that they are going back to their natives. So I realized this is not something that I have to just limit to these 350 people. I have to reach out to everyone. That's how we started this journey called Ghar Bhejo. And we started connecting with all the people across the country so that we can send them back home.
Sonu, you said you spoke to people in the Maharashtra government, and you also spoke to people in the Karnataka government to get the requisite permissions. In these days, everything is looked at from a political lens. Maharashtra has a different government, and Karnataka has a different political party in government. Was it difficult for you? Did you really get on to the political level for these permissions, or were you able to get it at the official level? How did you work that out?
It started on an official note. A normal person, if he wants to travel to a different district, so there's a chain of documents that he had to apply for. He has to get his medical done from the local place, then senior PI level, then the file goes to the DCP, then the file goes to the ADM in the district he wants to go, and then to the DM level, and then it comes back in the same chain. So it's a long process, but I somehow learned the whole way when I tried for the first 350, and this is how it started. So it was not just the official levels, but I had to use a few of my friends who are into different fields. Please help them to make it fast, because I never knew the process. I never knew anyone how to make this happen. And first when the Karnataka Maharashtra thing happened, so then I started approaching Bihar, UP. At the time, Bihar and UP were shut. They were not letting people from Maharashtra get into the states. But somehow I requested lots of officials, got all the paperwork done, and slowly the word spread. Okay, this guy is working genuinely, very sincerely to help migrants. So all the officials and all the people at different levels, they were very supportive. They said, "Sonu, hum log karke denge. Aap jaldi bhejo inko, and we'll sort this out." So this is how the trust among the migrants, got built up, and among the officials as well.
But you've been accused that you're actually doing all this for the BJP. And nobody can actually realize such a huge logistical issue single-handedly. So you needed and you had backing of a political party and political leaders from the BJP. That's the accusation against you. What would you want to say about that?
No, first of all, if I was related to any party, the process wouldn't have happened only. You need to maintain few protocols, just make few calls, and then things happen. I have worked from all the states, from Jammu Kashmir to Kanyakumari, people from Agartala, from Kerala to Orissa. I flew 180 people when all the airports were shut. In Kerala, you have a Congress government. In other states, you have different governments. So I worked with all different states, with all different governments. It's not just one government I was help with. So I believe that, whenever someone used to contact me on my social media, I never used to see whether it's a Hindu, Muslim, from BJP or from Congress or from any political parties. My motive was I have to make them reach home. And believe you me, today I have almost, I would say, millions of people on my phone with their phone numbers, where they're heading to, and all small districts, whether you talk about small districts of Gonda, Basti, in Uttar Pradesh, Madhubani, Sitamarhi, all people, I have phone numbers of every single individual from ADM to DM to DCPs. I call them personally. I get those things cleared fast. And it's on one-on-one level, and they've seen that how I do the follow-up, because if suddenly someone wants to travel tomorrow, I need to get that file cleared today. So I call them personally, and it's like, otherwise it's not going to happen if I'm going to wait for the process to happen. So it doesn't really matter what people accuse of. My main aim is to bring that smile on their faces and to make them reach home. And today we have got smiles on millions.
But you got invited to the Raj Bhavan. You went and had chai with the governor in Maharashtra, and that's where the tongues began to wag that Sonu Sood is a BJP person who's high profile and who's doing all of this just to show the government of Maharashtra in poor light. What's the story behind your visit to the Raj Bhavan?
No, first of all, I can't do anything in the state without the support of the state government. All the permissions, whether I apply for a train or apply for anything, it has to happen through the state. So state government has been very, very kind, very helpful in the whole thing. Regarding the meeting with the governor, they just wanted to thank me that the kind of work that I'm doing. It's not just the Maharashtra governor, the governor of Punjab, the governor of Uttarakhand, the CM of Punjab, CM of Uttarakhand, CM of Assam, CM of Jharkhand, every state, they have called me, they have congratulated me on their Twitter, on their social media. So I don't know why suddenly when he spoke about Maharashtra, the whole thing was blown. Okay, he's from a particular party. So it doesn't really matter. I know the people who know me, they know that I have no connections with anything. I have a lot of friends in all different parties, but that doesn't mean that I was doing it for them. They have done their job and I was doing mine.
But Sonu Sood, were you surprised when Mr. Sanjay Raut wrote about you in the Shiv Sena mouthpiece Samna, and he called you Mahatma Sood, and he said that you're doing this with one objective, and that objective is to embarrass the Maharashtra government. Were you surprised? Because anybody who's in Mumbai, any film star at that, always wants to be on the right side of the Shiv Sena. So were you actually worried about the reference made to you, and is that why you went running for a meeting with Uddhav and Aditya Thackeray?
No, first of all, when I heard about the whole controversy when Mr. Raut said these things, actually I never read the whole interview also. I knew that something he had said, but I was very busy because on that particular day, there were almost a movement of almost 3,500 people who were going, in different areas. So I was landing a permission. So I didn't have any time actually to, put my front, put my side. So then, the whole thing started on news channels, on social media and all. So I got a couple of calls that, this thing is happening. What do you want to say about it? So I said, my only worries is that people who are supposed to leave today evening, they have to go. If I get into it, it's not going to happen, and they'll again get stuck. So I was not actually seriously bothered.
Come
because I
on,
know
you can't be serious. You can't be serious, Sonu Sood. Mumbai
tell you,
wala, actor, Bollywood wala, not worried about Shiv Sena's position on you, and you were doing your work, happily as normal,
Actually,
is not something that anybody in this country is going to believe.
No, I'll tell you. I'm coming to that point. It was actually the fact, because when your phone rings non-stop with so many people calling you and getting stuck in different parts. So I was busy. I obviously I knew that, this very close friend of mine. Again, he's from Congress. Aslam Sheikh Bhai. I know him since years. So he called me. He said, Sonu, if you want to, do you want to speak about it? I said, I'm Mega Aslam Bhai. I'm good with it. Let me handle it. Let me send these people, and I can meet them anyone. I met Uddhavji before.
Were you called or did you seek the appointment?
No, I was. Aslam Bhai said, let's go and. We'll just sit, because I know Aditya also, I know Uddhavji also, I met him a couple of times. They're very nice people. They're very, very warm. Whenever I met them, they said we should just sit and just clear that thing. We went and we just over a cup of coffee, he said, we are with you. Any kind of support you need to help these guys. And we're very happy the way you have helped all these migrants. It was on a very positive note.
So where did the misunderstanding begin in the first place?
I feel, when Mr. Raut wrote that article, and then the whole thing was blown that, he's trying to support a particular party and trying to bring down Shiv Sena. So I think that was something not on a right note, which was not true. So I think that thing, they also knew that it's not right, and they knew that, I'm trying to make things work single-handedly.
But Sanjay Raut never writes anything in Samna unless and until he has an objective to that. Why would he say something in Samna which is not something that belongs to him? It belongs to the party, and everybody knows that who calls the shots in the party. So are you saying that Sanjay Raut thought of something independently and Uddhav Thackeray and Aditya Thackeray didn't know about it?
I'm not sure. I don't understand the logistics, how a particular person thinks, writes, and speaks about it. But the idea was, the moral of the story was, finally when everything we spoke about, the whole air was cleared. We knew that we were all on the same page to help people. So that was the idea. And I'm sure when an individual thinks about something and they write it, so it's okay. It's not that they can't write about it. They can write about it, but I have everything on paper. I know how things function and how I've been trying to make things happen.
But Sonu Sood, you're saying that when everything was cleared, that means there was a misunderstanding in the first place. And on the other hand, Aditya Thackeray also tweeted, and he says misunderstanding and everything is good when it is done for the people. So both sides talking about clarifications and misunderstandings. So what was the misunderstanding? Did they think that you were from the BJP, or did they think you were upstaging the Shiv Sena?
No, Shiv Sena has been doing tremendous work. Bombay is not an easy, I would say, not an easy city to handle, and especially Maharashtra with so many people around. So they have done phenomenally well. But, this was my take, the way I wanted to do things, the people who approached me. When I started tweeting, started connecting with people from different states, stuck on different highways. So everyone, was getting connected. I floated a toll-free number. I was talking to people, got 70,000 requests in the very first day. So I shared with Aditya's also and Uddhavji also, sir. I said, I just thought that I need to help these people. I never knew what's the process to do it, but I followed my instincts and I did this thing. So obviously there was a kind of misunderstanding when the whole social media revolt happened. A lot of people who went back to their homes and they liked the whole way I was supporting them. So they started reacting. They started making some hashtags, and the whole social media, thing started. So I thought it's very important to just tell and inform everyone that we are all on the same page. The idea is to send them back to their home safely, and that's what we intend to do.
So who organized the meeting between you and Uddhav and Aditya?
Aslam Sheikh. He's a minister from Maharashtra government. He's from Congress. He's a dear friend. So he said, Sonu Bhai, I know I know your intentions. I know you from past 20 years. I know how religiously you have been working on this project of helping people. So I think it's very important to clear that air. So we just went together.
Okay, so did you get any feelers that the Thakres were upset and you needed to go and clarify, and that's why you called up your friend who organized this meeting? How did the feelers really come to you?
No, Aslam Sheikh himself, he called me. Like he said, Sonu, do you want to meet them? Do you want to clear that air? I remember at that time I was at Vasai station putting things together for there were almost 1,800 migrants at the time they were traveling. So I said, Aslam bhai, I'll finish this travel. I'll get these things sorted, and maybe in the evening or night, whenever you want, I'm ready to go. And then Aslam bhai said, chalo, let's go. And we went, and frankly, we sat there for almost 40-45 minutes. They were so nice. They were very warm. They said, Sonu, you need anything from our front, let's do it together. Whatever you want, we are there for you. And I think that's it. Yeah, you're on a very good note.
So was it carrot and stick? The stick came before the carrot, I thought.
No, it is not like that. It's I would say the whole issue of migrants, it's been so sensitive that everyone who's been involved, who's been a sufferer or who's been not able to do the way they wanted things to happen. So it's such a sensitive thing that anything you say, say, okay, who's going to do it, how it's done, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether it's from a party, whether it's not from a party. So it's a very sensitive thing, but I've realized in the whole process that everyone wants to help them. The means are different, the methods are different, and the approach is different. And I'm glad that I'm not from any party. I'm an individual, so I can make those calls. I just, in the middle of night, I make those calls. I said, ki boss, kal aap ja rahe ho, kal aap 300-400 log ikatte ho, and yeah, I'll make things happen. So if I was from a particular party or from a particular background, so I know, it wouldn't have been easy. So I'm glad that I'm doing it individually. Yeah.
Who were the friends of yours from BJP whose friendship was irking the Thakres?
I don't know. I don't have any friends. I know them. I've been to their. Sometimes you have a gathering where you have other ministers also, other people also. I've been nice to everyone. I'll tell you.
But any special friends who the Thakres took objection to? Did they speak about anybody?
No. I haven't. Shared with you anytime, but I would say all the people supported. Priyanka Gandhi was the first one to call and congratulate me that you have done so well. She was very sweet, and I really wanted to thank her for thinking about me. She was the first one who said well done, Sonu, you have done really thought about it. People from NCP, Mr. Deshmukh, he said, you're doing pretty well. A lot of people, from it's not. Frankly speaking, I know them a lot, but most of the time I don't understand what exactly how the whole system functions. But I knew that somewhere in their heart they knew that the intentions are right. The intentions are to help people. I've been on the roads 16 hours a day with the migrants, helping them. I've been with them. So I know the kind of sufferings they go through, and I think that keeps me on my toes always.
So if Priyanka Gandhi Vadra was calling you, if the Congress felt that you were doing a good thing by sending migrants, why did the government of Maharashtra not accept trains for so long to send the migrants back to their hometowns? Because the centre was offering the trains. And for a long time, they kept, back and forth this whole controversy about who'll pay for the train fare of these migrants going back, when the centre came out that they were going to pay 85% and 15% needed to be paid by the state. Even that became a huge controversy. Have you ever questioned why these politicians were complimenting you, but when they had it in their power, they weren't doing the same for migrants?
Maybe I'm not in a position to tell, who was wrong and who was right in the whole front. But, I've always said, that, I wish, if I wish I was given 10 days to make things happen. It's very easy to say that. The way we are functioning. If we had 10 days, we would have definitely made some, formulas to make them not suffer on the highways. But I won't say that it's a fault of the central government or from the state government. I think everyone wanted to be on the same page, but there might be some loopholes or some differences which are not making things happen. So, I was never in any meeting that they were involved. We just, like everyone, saw on social media or in the newspaper what exactly was happening. But I wish that somehow, if it was resolved earlier, a lot of people would have reached home with less troubles there.
How many people, how many migrants have you been able to send back to their homes so far?
I think a little more than 30,000. And still we are counting. Today we are sending people to Uttar Pradesh. Tomorrow there are people to Bihar. Again, I would like to thank state government. Without them, it's not possible. I have a list of every single migrant across the globe, wherever they want to reach. Yesterday, I remember there were people traveling from Jammu to Ranchi, and we requested Jharkhand government to get the train organized. The whole list of people, around 1,800 people, we organized them to board the trains and all. So it's not just about Maharashtra. If you ask me any part of the country where the people are stuck, how they want to go, what are their phone numbers, which are the destinations they want to go, and what's the process.
So what's the network? What's the network on which you get information about migrants in Jammu and Kashmir? Do you have an NGO that sends you these, people and their requests, or how do you manage to do this?
I'll tell you, there's a very close friend of mine, Neeti Goyal, like I said, we started this whole thing. She is connected to NGOs. A lot of people request her also that, okay, Sonu, so let's get connected with him. On my social media, I'm very, very active. I respond to a single individual stuck in Tamil Nadu and he wants to go to UP. I'll answer him also. I'll call his number and I'll say, boss, your ticket is booked. Let's go. So I respond to everyone. So now there are a lot of people who are not on Twitter, not on these social media. They opened those accounts. They got in touch with me. Those NGOs got in touch with me. Those people, normal shopkeepers, they said, there are 20 migrants who are stuck here, sir, sitting in this park. So can you help them out? So it was all over the country people were getting in touch with me. I had a team of 12 people who were just following my replies. If I replied to anyone, they immediately used to call them, ki boss, aapko kidhar jana hai, kahan jana chahte ho, we'll book the tickets. A small example I would tell you is that yesterday in the morning when I woke up at 7:15, I was going through my Twitter timeline. So there was this guy, his name was Bhunu Lal. So he's from Uttar Pradesh, and he had put a picture of his dad that, his leg was amputated because there was an accident. So sir, I want to go to Uttar Pradesh. So I said, Bhunu Lal, I'm just calling you back. In 20-30 minutes, he booked his tickets, and now he's back with his father. So it's just, I would say, the connection that happened through the social media. I never realized that, Twitter, all these medias can be so powerful that you can talk to them one-on-one if you spend time and if you really intend to help them. So I think this is how it helped, and you can see, it's amazing. If I show the kind of homework, the kind of data that we have, it's phenomenal.
But Sonu Sood, all this effort of sending back 30,000 migrants would have entailed a whole lot of expenditure. Are you doing this from your own pocket? Are you, are there donors with you who have, also supported this whole movement? How does that work?
We started on our own, me and Neeti started on our own. We started putting our own thing also. But then we realized a lot of people came in. There's a friend who came to us and said, can I sponsor half a bus? Can I sponsor one bus? Can we sponsor two buses? There are people who came, hum log karna chahte hain. Can we sponsor food? Can we sponsor water bottles? I remember Farah Khan came, kisonu mein pani de dun kya migrants ko. So then people started coming in. They said, we want to do it. And then the whole movement started. It was like, the first step was difficult to make. And then the whole team of people came, said, we want to help. My chartered accountant, Pankaj, he has a team of 12 people who are day and night sitting on, bifurcating people from Gorakhpur to, Orissa to Jharkhand, to all these people. We have a friend of there's a very good friend of mine, his name is KK. His whole team of 12-15 people are just making those sheets and connecting with every single people. We have those IVR messages. We have got a toll-free number. We call them, we message them. So the whole thing is that now, like I said, today's a movement of almost 2,500-3,000 people. So imagine a bunch of friends who just want to make them reach back to their homes, how they will be doing it. So it's pretty interesting, but we learned a few lessons with this whole experience.
Sonu Sood, even if you are apolitical, these migrant laborers who you've interacted with, they would have a view. You've met so many of them. What do they say? Their stories do they blame their central government? Do they blame the governments in their home states? Do they blame the governments where they are working as migrants who haven't supported them? उन्होंने कुछ तो कहा होगा, क्योंकि उनके लिए तो ये बहुत बड़ी समस्या थी. वो किसको ब्लेम करते हैं?
देखिए, मुझे ब्लेम नहीं वो लोग कर रहे थे मेरे सामने. उनका यही कहना था कि सर हम घर जाना चाहते हैं, मेरी वाइफ की डेथ हो गई है, मेरे फादर सीरियस है, मुझे एम्बुलेंस करवा दीजिए, सब कुछ करवा दीजिए. उनके पास मुझे लगता है कि आई विश आई कुड हैव स्टार्टेड दिस अर्ली. एज सून एज इट स्टार्टेड, द होल मूवमेंट स्टार्टेड, आई विश आई कुड हैव जंप्ड इन. देन आई नेवर रियलाइज्ड दैट इट टुक सम टाइम, एंड देन वी सॉ दोस विजुअल्स ऑफ people getting hit by trucks on the highways, losing their lives. I know enough now. We have to come forward. And remember, I put a message on my social media that कि पैदल कोई नहीं चलेगा, जहाँ पे हो वहाँ पे रुको, and we'll get back to you and we'll make this thing happen. So they were not into that blame game. I feel in first week 10 days they were into that blame thing, like हमारा किसी ने ध्यान नहीं रखा. But then the only intention they have is we want to reach back to their homes somehow, कि हमें घर पे पहुंचा दो. So I think they were in that zone, and now when they reach back to their families and they send me videos or some kind of messages, I realize I came to Mumbai for this. If God forbid I completed my engineering, I would have been in Punjab doing my business. So I wouldn't have got an opportunity to be someone who could bring a change in the life of millions. Yeah.
So Sonu Sood, you also went to the Bandra station, I believe, a few days ago, and you created a flutter there as well. Were you stopped from going inside? Was it against Sonu Sood in the limelight? Because you've given a clarification कि नहीं, there are rules that apply. You're trying to be goody two shoes and avoid controversy. Sonu Sood, come on, now drop the guard. दिल से बोलो कि हाँ आपके ऊपर प्रेशर है.
देखिए, प्रेशर नहीं है, मैं सच बोलूंगा, प्रेशर नहीं है. प्रेशर इसलिए नहीं है क्योंकि मैंने प्रेशर आज तक लाइफ में कोई लिया नहीं. आई एम द वन. आप मुझे बोलेंगे कि 10,000 लोग खड़े हुए हैं, सोनू दिल्ली में खड़े हुए हैं, और उनको प्लीज पहुंचा दो, आप घर पे पहुंचा दो, मैं निकल पड़ूंगा पहुंचाने के लिए. मुझे पता नहीं कैसे पहुंचाना है, पर मैं उनको पहुंचा जरूर दूंगा. सो दैट्स माय पीपल हु नो मी. दे नो दैट यू जस्ट हैव टू टेल हिम टू डू समथिंग एंड ही विल मेक दैट हैपन. बांद्रा स्टेशन का एपिसोड ऐसा था. बिफोर दैट आई हैड बीन टू थाने स्टेशन. आई sent 2 trains, one to Varanasi, one to Bihar also. मैं स्टेशन पे गया था, प्लेटफॉर्म पे गया था. That was almost 10 days back. But then जब थोड़ा सा लाइमलाइट में चीजें आ गई, थोड़ा ज्यादा पता चला, when I went to Bandra station, बहुत रश था. And when I went there, lot of migrants, they knew that I'm trying to help them out. So they got overwhelmed, थोड़े से ज्यादा खुश हो गए, and they started running and all. So the local RPF, they requested, sir, if you avoid going to the platforms, that will be easy for us. Otherwise, tomorrow something happens. So it comes, the whole thing comes on us. So we would request you, if I wanted to go to this Bandra platform. Yes, I wanted to see them off. I wanted to be with them on the platform. But I realized that, okay, there are few protocols that need to be followed. There are few officers who are answerable to their superiors. So I don't want them to get into a situation where I say, ki boss, main dekho chale gaya, and they said, why did you let him in? So they requested, said, can you do it? I said, okay, I'm game for that. I'll just see them off, before the platform, and I did that, and this is how the whole thing came up. Yeah.
Sonu Sood, there are many famous actors better known than you. In the lockdown, they've all probably stayed indoors. Yes, a few donations here and there, but what makes it different for you versus other actors who could have come out, helped? We don't see too much of that happening in our society. Is it because people are worried about COVID, but then that worry, did it cross your mind that even you could be infected if you went to crowds? Why don't we see more of these Mahatmas coming out and helping people?
I know they are doing their bit. It's not important that everyone comes out. I remember the first time I went out, my family was very worried. They said, are you sure you want to go out? And I'm a kind of risk taker. I said, yaar, बहुत जाना बहुत जरूरी है. जब तक आप किसी का हाथ नहीं पकड़ते, आपको पता नहीं चलता कि उसको कितना बुखार है.
हाथ पकड़ना तो मना है आजकल. प्रिकॉशंस लेने चाहिए. नमस्ते करिए सबसे, हाथ मत पकड़िए.
तो मेरा ये था कि पर्सनल वो टच बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. जब तक आप वहाँ पे उनके साथ खड़े होते हैं और आप उनको बताते हैं कि आप जाएंगे, आप विश्वास कीजिए, जब whenever I go to the station, I see these people. Sometimes a lot of people, they don't have any bookings. They said, sir, we are with little kids. Please, हमें कैसे भी चढ़ा दीजिए, on a train or a bus or however. I can't make that happen if I'm sitting at home. I'll request to some officials. I'll get some tickets. I'll get some extra buses for them, and I make them board. There's not even a single migrant who has gone back, to their homes or wherever if they were on a station or on a bus. So I make sure that everyone gets boarded. Everyone reaches back to their families. So that was my job, and I wish if we were a bunch of more individuals, would have been easy. But I'm sure sitting at the home also, they have done their bit pretty well, and a lot of support has been provided by them also. Yeah.
So the lockdown hasn't applied to you as it has to the other actors, because they're all locked inside and picking up new hobbies during this lockdown period, whereas Sonu Sood is on the streets. The fact that you could be infected, hasn't that thought crossed your mind?
I was worried about my family. Actually, only thing, my kids or my wife, every time I go out, they said, okay, this is the last time. You promise that you're not going to go again? I said, yeah, I promise. This is the last time I'm going. And next day. Now they know that I spend almost 14, 16 hours on the street. There are people stuck in different parts, whether you talk about Nala Supara, Vasai, different parts. Now I know each and every street of Mumbai, in each and every place where, people are. I know hundreds of districts of India. So I enjoy spending time with them. I've seen their miseries. I've seen the trouble they all go through. So now it doesn't affect me. But yeah, again, I have to make a promise to my family that I have to go to Borivali station today. There are almost 2,000 people leaving today. So I'll again make that promise, and I'll again break that promise for a train to Bihar, which is happening tomorrow.
Well, Sonu Sood, what about the film industry? There would be many in the film industry who would be really suffering because they haven't had earnings in the last 2 or 3 months. Any support system that the film industry as a whole has worked out? Any formal system, just like you're working for migrants? Anything else that's worked out for them?
No, they had been taken care to a certain level. Also, a lot of actors, they have given donations to their organizations. A lot of people approach me, like the background dancers, the spot boys, and new, I would say, the lightmen. So, in Goregaon, me and Niti, we have got a mall where, we have put a lot of ration kits for them, thousands in numbers, and a lot of juices for them. So anyone calls and says, just wahan jao, 10 din ka ration leke jao, go there, get a lot of juices for them. So we have also, somehow programmed the whole thing that anyone, whether you are from the film industry or whether you're not from the film industry, you just make a call and we'll try to take care of you. And I think everyone is doing their bit, and that's how we are surviving now.
How do you think overall the whole situation, the way it's been administered, has worked out for India? Do you think the lockdown, when it happened suddenly, was a good idea? And do you think migrants, when they were transported at a time when, infections were really transmitting fairly easily, was it the right time to do that? What's your opinion on the way this entire pandemic has been handled in India by state and the centre?
No, as an individual, like I said, I've been on the field almost 2 months. I have my take on this. Wish we had some more time to inform that, okay, you can go back to your natives. We'll give you 2 days, 3 days. It's okay. But imagine a normal worker, a worker from Bihar or a UP who works 10, 12 hours in the sun. So he's very, very strong. He's stronger than me. He's stronger than you. He has a courage and an ability to walk hundreds of kilometers, thousands of kilometers. So he's not going to stop. If you say, okay, boss, ruk jao aap, hum aapko khana denge, aap ruk jao, he's not going to stop. He will walk. He will walk those 1,000 kilometers and he will reach his destination. So that was very clear from the way they came on these highways. My only take was, I'm not in a position, like I say, that, I can do anything, but I wish on that particular day, if we had started just the normal transport, the bus transport only on the highways, not in the cities. Okay, if the moment is happening from Delhi to Bihar, Delhi highway के बाहर से normal buses चल रही हैं, जो लोग पैदल चल रहे हैं, it's only for them. Okay, बस में बैठो, हम आपको आगे तक छोड़ देंगे. जो those hundreds and thousands of kilometers inside that particular states they were walking, so that would have been saved for them. Those accidents, the accidents that happened on the highways, लोग पैदल चल रहे हैं, गाड़ी ने उड़ा दिया, वो उन सब की जानें बच सकती. Only the interstate bus movements, which was limited to only the migrants who are walking, they're not going to stop. वो चल जाता बेटर था, उनको बेचारों को डंडे पड़े, वो थोड़े से फील्ड्स के थ्रू निकलना शुरू किया. They were not aware. They were little kids. Imagine as kids when we used to travel with our parents, and we always used to see that our parents are going to give us the best of comfort, and we'll reach back to our destination safely. And imagine those parents telling lies to their kids. पास में है घर, पास में आ जाएगा, because they don't want to tell it's 1,000 kilometers away. So these kids are going to live with those memories. They are going to grow up with those memories. So I never wanted this to happen. So that's why I started this whole movement. Okay, boss, just stay. मैं आपको घर तक छोड़ के आऊंगा. So that when they grow up, I don't know whether I'm going to, whether I'll be able to reach to everyone or not. But I know for sure that the ray of hope that they felt when I started communicating with everyone, they knew it. Okay, there's someone who's trying to help us. Help might reach to us, help might not reach to us. But yeah, there's an effort that's been put behind. So I think that was my job, and I was able to do it. Not bad.
So Sonu Sood, you've been on record saying that many political parties have approached you. Which political parties?
No, not now. Maybe 5 years back, 10 years back. They've always wanted me to contest for the elections. Yes, they have been. I've been approached by, I would say, all of them. Whether they want to contest from Punjab, but I was not very keen. I came to the city to become an actor.
BJP approached you in the recent Lok Sabha elections for Punjab?
When those elections happened, yes, I got feelers from all the parties. I would say not one. I won't name one, but it's obvious. When you are a known face in that particular state or wherever you are working, so obviously people will come with a few things. Okay?
You can always say which party approached you. If you're not interested in politics, if you're not going to join them, तो बता दो लोगों को.
मैंने बोला सबने बोला है, not even one party, हर पार्टी ने बोला है.
हमारे देश में कम से कम 1100 पार्टीज है रजिस्टर्ड.
तो मे बी 4-5 ने तो पक्का बोला होगा मुझे कि आप करना चाहते हो. ऐसा नहीं उन्होंने बोला कि आपके लिए सीट है आप ले लीजिए. उन्होंने बोला कि are you keen to do it? I said no sir, I'm good. I'm in a space of an actor who enjoys the profession. अभी नहीं, पता नहीं कभी.
So BJP, कांग्रेस, NCP, शिवसेना सबने अप्रोच किया.
नहीं, शिवसेना NCP नहीं किया. They're from Maharashtra, but yeah, from Punjab I was offered by once for Congress also. They are not offered. I would say they said, "Are you keen?" I said no. No, thank you so much. I'm good.
Who नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू से बात हुई थी?
नहीं, मेरी नहीं बात हुई थी उनसे. मेरी बात उनसे नहीं हुई थी. But like I said, some parties name, because I know them, all of them. I know Akali Dal pretty well. I know Subir Bhai. I know Captain Sir pretty well. I know a lot of people. So they said, "यार कुछ करेगा, तेरे को interest है." So and they know that. They know that I love my profession as an actor. तो पूछने में क्या हम है? अगर मैं उनकी जगह होता शायद मैं भी पूछ लेता. अगर मुझे कोई सोनू सूद मिलता कि आप करना चाहोगे. But they can always gauge that maybe this is not his cup of tea.
But many say कि फिल्मों में तो आप विलन का रोल करते हो और रियल लाइफ में आप हीरो हो. Is this also an image makeover, this entire 2-month period that you've become the hero on the streets of Mumbai? I would say कि कोई चीजें बनाता नहीं है. I never thought that people will react to my image or whatever the way they have done. My intention was just to help them, and I still do that. If people think that I've done something right, okay, which is good. I have played a negative role. People loved it. Okay, Chedi Singh, he plays his role, negative roles very good. So okay, they loved it. So it's not important that what people think about it, but the important thing is those 30,000 people, and every family has 4-5 people, so more than 1 lakh smiles, those prayers will always be with me. So I think that's what I've been rewarded with. Doesn't really matter whether I play a positive or a negative role. I've done more of a hero roles than negative roles, but maybe my more negative roles are more popular than the hero roles. So I think it doesn't really matter about the image. I enjoy being in front of the camera. I think it's magical, and the whole
the migrant moment, the way I could make things happen for them was again a magical moment for me. I get pretty excited when I see them heading back to their homes as they're waving me from the train, from the buses, they sending me images, they're sending me videos. So I think that's the most satisfying experience in my life. I'll tell you a small example. There were 170 girls who were stuck in Odisha, in Kerala, in Ernakulam. And someone approached me that, they've been trying to get in touch with me, and I spoke to them. They were not very fluent with Hindi or English. So किसी तरीके से मैंने उनसे बात किया. Middle of the night, and 3 a.m. in the night till 10:30, 11, 3 a.m. they were, we got buses from them to travel from Ernakulam to Bhubaneswar, Cochin airport, and from Cochin they flew to Bhubaneswar. For those 6-7 hours, I was on the phone with the airport authorities, with these migrants. Okay, they have reached safe. So the kind of satisfaction that you get, you don't feel like sleeping, you don't feel like resting. Okay, job is done. These 177 people are going to get reunited. You must have seen on social media, there's a group of 200 Assamese who were stuck at LTT, Lokmanya Tilak Terminus, under a Tilak bridge. So they sent me a message on the day the cyclone was supposed to hit, ki sir, hum phas gaye paani ke niche, hame bachaiye. And now in 3-4 days, they were flown back, 4 days back to their, homes, and now they are in Assam, sending those smileys and those videos. So I think that was my achievement, as an individual, and I can't thank God enough for this.
Any real life icon who inspires you?
I always say my mom and dad. They were the ones. My mom was a professor, Professor Saroj.
Outside your house, mom and dad सबके लिए बहुत important होते हैं. Wives even more important. And if you don't say it, you might just get beaten up. But beyond that, beyond your home.
You have to save my life. Okay, my wife also, of course. She's a huge support. She makes a lot of lists of a lot of people traveling. She's also in the group of Ghar Bhejo volunteers and Ghar Bhejo leads. So she's also on the group. So we all do that.
आज रात का खाना मिल जाएगा.
मिल जाएगा. Maybe आज स्टेशन पे होगा because रात की ट्रेन है तो मुझे स्टेशन पे खाना खाना पड़ेगा. But like I said, I don't know कि real life I don't remember anyone who has inspired me कि आपको बहुत काम करना चाहिए. But I would say more importantly, these people inspire you. When you meet them, I'll share some videos with you also, which you should play on this channel also. When they talk, they are numb. They run out of words. They don't know anything what to say. They said कि यार घर पहुंच जाएंगे, हम लोग घर पहुंच जाएंगे. And those 20-30 seconds of your life, those 30 seconds inspire you to work for hundreds of hours on the road. You are not scared of any virus. You're not scared of any infection. Boss, you have to be on the road and just make that things happen.
And the country has always been talking about Modi versus Rahul Gandhi. Who's your favorite?
Both are my favorite. How politically correct I am, frankly speaking.
And nobody will buy that. Nobody will buy that. People will throw something at the screen.
My God. No, I would say definitely. I'm a huge Modi sir fan. I think the way he has connected with the common man, it's been very inspirational. And he's a leader who has just went ahead and made some new, I would say, revolutions in the country. So I feel that he's one I really look up to.
And Sonu Sood, when is film industry likely to open up, and are you looking forward to your new films that are around the corner, Prithvi Raj and Mumbai Saga?
No, I'm not in Mumbai Saga, but yes, Prithvi Raj we are shooting, me and Akshay were shooting just before the lockdown happened. So we have to again start, maybe they're saying in July, August, when everything will come
back to normal.
So yeah, then we'll start. So fingers crossed.
But do you think the film world has changed forever now? Because people will be worried about going to cinema halls. OTT, will that be the next generation of, watching movies?
No, OTT is a big challenge, yes. But cinemas will always be there. People just don't go for movies. They go for an outing. Okay, chalo, aaj bahar jayenge, popcorn khayenge, we'll watch movies. It will take some time for people to actually get that confidence to sit in a cinema hall. It's not going to be easy, but yeah, this shall pass too. And I'm sure when we are able to defeat this pandemic together, things will be normal. It might take some time, but yeah, it has to come to normal. Yeah.
And is Sonu Sood making the transition to OTT platforms as well, or are you wedded to the big screen?
If some good scripts are offered, I'll definitely love to be on an OTT platform also. I was offered, but something not very exciting. So I do films down south also. I'm shooting with Chiranjeevi just a day before the lockdown started. So that film is there. I do films in Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Chinese, Marathi, all languages. So yeah, if something exciting comes in OTT, I would love to do it. But as an actor, I'm always looking forward to some exciting scripts. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Sonu Sood. Thank you for joining me on Frankly Speaking. More power to you, and more power to all those who think about people less fortunate than them and who actually come up and at a level of humanity connect with people and try and resolve their issues without looking at what's in it for them. Thank you, Sonu Sood, for being a real life hero.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Thank you.